Hello everyone, Sentinel2, welcome to another mod overview, this time on Multimeters, a mod that's the ability for you to see item, fluid or power related information from a bar when holding a multimeter of a specific type, and then also binding that block with the multimeter to stick with that information. So, just get a multimeter, and we have a few blocks here to demonstrate between multiple mods. I just hold it up and then highlight over something. You can see the fluid tank. If I don't have the fluid specific one, I can't see this information. So you are going to want to have a multimeter on hand to actually find out this information. Even if you're not holding it in your hand, you can still have it on your hotbar. It does have it where if you have actually additions, it does sort of hover over it, so that's why I've moved it out of the way, but I'll cover that in the config section. But upon just making these, which are pretty cheap and accessible, you just want to hover over a specific thing and you can find out what's inside it. So if we have something here, you can see, if we actually get some slurry, which I can't on a bucket, if I can, possibly not. We'll probably want a gas specific one that I can try. Actually no, the electrolytic separator should work, because that'll be something more fluid focused I can put in. Just do that. I'll just get a bucket again. You can see the fluid information there, as well as power. Now, only some machines have it where it displays this. I'm not sure if it's that you always need to have something inside before to activate it, but you can tell with the osmium compressor. If I take the block out, it's not going to display it. Put it in, it'll display it afterwards now. So, yeah, with some, I'm not too sure, since obviously this is slurry, not something else, so it may or may not display that, I'm not sure. I'll try and put something in afterwards and see. Otherwise though, you can see with the energy bar that obviously it says FE. In configs you can have it display others, but again we'll show that at the end. But by default it does show FE, or whichever one it sort of supports. So yeah, with fluids obviously you can see the fluid bar. If you happen to have something like a bucket or a tank in hand, you can see that, like the multi-tank there, and the portable one here. I don't know why there's an energy bar for this one, but there is, apparently, upon holding it, but if you place it in the world, there isn't one. And you can see the actual additions and the multimeter one being displayed there. So, certain specific stuff does display, the bins don't, but a few other typical blocks will. Now, if we go to configs, which you can via in-game, but it only displays so much, so you are going to want to go to some of the others. But with the mod itself's configs, you can change the multimeter UI height, width, and the offset, as well as if there's additional things like for items, the stacked items, then you can change those for where it's positioned, how big it is, how wide it is, and other additional information. So obviously I've changed this to 50, but the default is 6, which if I display that with actual additions, you can see it covers it, so you are going to want to move that out of the way. Otherwise though, if we go to the other configs from the other mods, which you want CJ Core for some of this, Forge Energy does display as the default, but if you got Joules from Mechanism, Minecraft Joules from Buildcraft, Energy Units from IC2, Redstone Flux from Thermal and other mods, and then Tesla, you can. Actually Additions doesn't display Tesla anymore, so if you are using Actually Additions, later versions for 1.12.2 don't display Tesla support anymore, but an earlier version does that I do have somewhere on a Tesla forum thread somewhere. Tesla forums. I've got it listed somewhere. Let's see. It's not here, so Tesla Power API. we go. So that should display that sort of information. So that version and higher, it doesn't support Tesla anymore. So keep that in mind. Obviously, while this is related to the core mod, obviously you could change the energy bar and a few other additional things, and fluid specific stuff as well, if you wanted, and the same can be changed here, as you can see, as well as here. So you can change that information in the actual configs there, or in-game if you wish. Otherwise though, I guess that's about it, unless I went with something like, I guess, multi-block tanks, which are probably worth covering, as the information for those doesn't display, unfortunately. So, as well as other things like cables, I guess I could display, which you can see there. You can find out how much is in a cable. If I go with, say, mechanical pipes, find out what's inside those, I'm pretty sure. Yep. When it comes to items, like logistical supporter, there's nothing there. And I can't even bind it. Also can, I think these, possibly, whoops, wrong one. There we go, so we can find out the information of that, we can find out the information of that. But not for the logistical supporter, it seems. Transporter, I mean. Now to the tank, which we're going to want this. Put it up here. And as you can see, while there's nothing inside, it doesn't display anything. We put a bucket in. You can see nothing different again, because it's not a single block. So it doesn't seem to with at least this multi-block tank. I can't say for all multi-blocks though, but if we try with something like the thermal evaporation plant, we'll see if that is also the case as well, where it has a more inventory focused block for displaying info rather than just forming it, and it's just the glass or other sides. So we do that. No energy at all, can't even bind it, so we can for items, can't for fluids, but there's nothing there at all. Obviously for energy, not likely. If we went with, say, I guess a bucket, for example, we can see the bucket inside. The fluid, however, we can't, so we can't see any water or brine, either because there's two forms of information and it can't do it, or just because it's just not capable. So, yeah, that's another thing to keep in mind besides singular blocks or some other types of blocks, like the pipes, for example. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is it. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.